Hello, 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 Cancer. Hello, Cancer. This is Adrian Igo, Capricorntigress of Astrology, a look inside. And I am coming to you with your November reading for the month of, well, what you're reading for the month of November, November 2018. And I'm excited because, well, first of all, you guys are my last sign of the month. And I'm actually ashamed because it's now the 8th of the month. And I do apologize for it being the 8th of the month. I've missed quite a bit of the month with you. And so I do apologize. I will say that I am a Capricorn, which is the opposite of Cancer. And as a Capricorn, I can tell you I'm a Capricorn with Capricorn rising. And I can tell you that I lost my husband. So I don't know exactly how things are going for Cancer. Okay, so I wanted to preface everything that I say with that. Now, my husband was not a Cancer, but it's very often that Capricorns have mates who are Cancers. And I was engaged to a Cancer, actually. So I just thought I would preface that because you could be the other half of something that like that, right? I don't know if you've had any issues with your partnerships in general or with, in particular, your Capricorn partner, okay? Because when I look at your chart, I mean, before I look at anything else, but I always do a chart, a personal little scribbles with my own little intuition and doing my own little psychic thought patterns and whatnot. And then what I do is after I do this, I'm going to go through the actual aspects and how those aspects would have been affecting you. But let's start with the obvious. Pluto and Saturn has been in your solar seventh house. That's the area of partnerships. That's the area of marriage. That's the area of relationships, all partnerships, not just marriage, but all partnerships. I can see some people who might have had some really bad enemies over the course of this year. I mean, this is enemy season, but Saturn sitting in your your seventh house, opposing your solar first house. So there's a good and a bad here because Saturn tends to bring stability, security, more so than lack of. It's stable. It's a time when some people are getting married because they feel that need for that stability in their lives. If you're with a partner, you might feel that that's a stable partner. Now, I'm not saying it's not explosive because Pluto is also in the solar seventh house. So, there could be arguments, there could be battles. I could see a struggle of wills, going on between you and your partner, unless it's already firmly established who the leader of the relationship is, and there's no problem with that. But I could see where your Capricorn partner would suddenly have this sudden burst of independence. And, it's funny because I sense the opposite for you. I don't sense that this is like the most independent time for Cancer. I'm not saying that you would just go with the status quo or anything like that, but it's just, you've been pretty solid, pretty much. Now, the thing that's crazy is that you've had some issues before with Uranus that was going through your 10th house, and then it moved into Taurus, and now it's going to go back into your solar 10th house again. So if you've had any disruptions with your career or any problems with your boss or bosses, you might have had a change of jobs over the last few years. Like Uranus up in the 10th house is nothing nice. And even if it's just a solar 10th house, I still see where it could be a problem. Now, also, Uranus is going to be bouncing it bounces into the 10th, and then it's going to bounce back into the 11th again, back into Taurus, because it's going into Taurus. There's nothing that can stop that. And it's going to be in it for like 6-7 years. But for now, and it's kind of teetering between that area. So it's dealing with issues that have to do with your career, your image, your reputation. Yeah, the father, even the authority figures in your life, like your bosses. But the career in general, it's the image that you're giving off, not your persona, but the overall image. That's all highlighted. That's all highlighted right now. And Uranus is there. So that means, it's going back into Aries, into that area, just to shake it up one last time, because Aries likes to shake things up, and it just, wants to go through there and just make it, I guess, breathe some fire on the area. That's the way I'm looking at it. Gonna have some fire up in that 10th house. Anything could happen when Uranus retrogrades back in Aries. Be aware of that with your career. I hope you've got everything solid. I'm looking at your 6th house, which is work, and that's got Sag on it. And so it's really boding well, actually, to be honest with you, because Jupiter's down in the 5th, down in Scorpio, but it's Jupiter's going out of Scorpio into Sagittarius. So you're going to have Jupiter in the house of work like all year. You guys, your work life should be really, I would say, perking up in the month of November, but all year long, it's going to be a whole lot better than it's been, especially since Uranus, once it pops out of Aries for good this last time, it's going to go into Taurus. It's going to take all that craziness and uncertainty out of the career house. If you're someone who has not had a decent career, or you've been out of work for a while, or you are just not doing what you wanted to do, you might suddenly get that job, make that decision, open that business. All of that is possible, and the luck is there, because the Jupiter is going from the 5th house of entrepreneurship into the 6th house of work. So either way, you're covered in the area of work. I just see people really moving ahead in their careers right now, and that's a really good thing. It would be sudden if you're like not doing well at all, and all of a sudden you get like the job you wanted. I could even say some people are getting the job of their dreams. And the reason I say that is because it's teetering between the solar 10th and 11th. The 11th house is the house of hopes, wishes, and dreams. What if your hopes, wishes, and dreams was to get that dream job and you got it? If anyone gets that, please list that for me so I know I kind of saw that for someone. One of the biggest issues that you might have that would thwart any problems, or with this bouncing back between your 10th and 11th, you've got Neptune up in the 9th house, and Mars is going to be joining it. There's a lot of emphasis up in like the area where I always say religion, dogma, education, like college, university, stuff like that, legal things, political things, law, anything to do with the law, religion, travels there, philosophy, just that internal thought process of that, the thing that people argue over. We all have that inner philosophy, that we all believe certain things. We all have our inner beliefs, like whether it's religion, whether it's politics, whether it's, just the littlest things. But it's going to be highlighted, and it has been highlighted over a period of time. I mean, you've had Neptune in Pisces, smack dab in the middle of Pisces. Now it's been retrograding, so this area might have been, a source of interest to you, especially over the course of the month. Mars is going to be in that 9th house with Neptune, and so there's going to be some emphasis there. I'm just wondering how that's really going to work out with you. You might have had some confusion or problems when it comes to education, or having the right credentials to move ahead with your career. That could be an issue. But I see where the North Node is going to be moving where it's been in your second house, in your solar second house. So the area for you guys has really been on money. It's been on money for a while. And, what you have, what you don't have, building a nest egg and making sure you have a home and a car and the necessities of life, you know. But it's moving away from that in particular, but it's moving into you. It's moving into the solar first house. It's going into Cancer. So it's going backwards into Cancer. And when it does, it's going to really affect the you that is you, like your personality and maybe even your physical body. I would say, with all that emphasis in the month of November on the physical body, because there's going to be so much emphasis in that area, um, with your health and your work, but your health in general. And then the North Node is going to be going into that Cancer area, into the first house for the first time in ages. And so um, you might feel that, Cancers. You might feel that when that North Node gets into that first house, you're going to feel that, I think, especially when it's like at 29 degrees. I have my North Node at 29 degrees of Cancer. I do. It's in the seventh house. In the seventh house, when the North Node hit within a degree of my 29-degree Cancer North Node in the seventh house, my husband announced he no longer loved me and left me. That's what I mean. Okay. Now, this is not going to be happening on the other side of your chart. This is going to be happening to you. So I want you to take care of yourselves. I want you to watch your body, watch what you eat. If you need to go on a diet, go on a diet. If you need to go to the doctor, get yourself checked out. Do all of those things that show you're proactive in taking care of you, because it's all about you for quite some time. The North Node is going to be in Cancer, I think, so you Cancers can work out the issues of you, because it's going to be physically you. For me, I've got my North Node in Cancer, but it's on the opposite side of the chart in the seventh house. So I've got to work out my partnership and relationship issues, even my past pains and rebuilding and losing a marriage and getting a divorce for the first time, and all of those things that have to do with the seventh house. But you're going to be dealing with all those things that have to do with the first house. And you might have someone on the other side coming at you. Be aware of that. I'm trying to not go at my partner and attack him or anything, but you may have someone that's, because Pluto is on that other side in Capricorn, and I can see or feel that some of you have partners that are just barking down at you, just barking, barking, barking. And I can admit, before I caught myself, before my husband left me, I was kind of barking at him whenever I talked to him. I didn't actually talk to him. We had really kind of lost touch with each other. My hair keeps sticking out. It freaks me out, you guys. Anyway, but we had really kind of stopped talking to each other altogether. That was part of the reason why I lost it, because I thought he was cheating on me. He wasn't there. So I don't know how that's working out in your chart. You do have Venus down low in the chart. It starts out that Libra, and then it goes into the Scorpio. So that's down in the fourth house and the fifth house. And it goes through it hangs out in the fifth house in Scorpio all month long, really. And so it's retrograding, and then it goes forward in Scorpio, and it's just ugly. I can see there might have been some arguments with the person you love, and they might have left you, and now they might come back, and there's a lot going on. Okay, so take a deep breath. Okay, and just know that North Node is in your first house. Okay, it's about you. Don't let no one hurt you. No one gets to hurt you. Okay, you protect yourself. Okay. I got my little healing amethyst here, so we're gonna, just play a little blessing over that. You protect yourself. Don't let anyone hurt you. Okay. Now I'm going to go on to the aspects, and we'll look at where these aspects are falling in your chart during the month, or how they may affect you. And I have to apologize because I'm starting out the month, on the 8th, but luckily yesterday was the new moon. So we're a day out from the new moon. So it's all up from here, and that's a good thing. I'm even thinking about doing poor Pisces over because I was at such a low point when I did theirs. So you're getting the best of me, I think, Cancers. So, okay. So on the 8th, Jupiter, it goes into Sagittarius, and that is that health area I was talking about. That is your health. That is your work. That's the service you do for others. That's, watching the food you eat. Everything's going to improve. Like, I think the way you're eating, your digestion, your ability to get out and move around. I can see some of you starting to go out walking, or some might even attempt running. I don't know if you're up to that yet, but I can see some of that happening. And so, when Jupiter enters Sag, you get really positive about your health. You're going to be positive about your work, positive about your health. Jupiter is going to be in that area now, and it's going to be there all year long. So it's not just something you're going to experience for a week or a month. This is all year. You're going to be feeling that in that solar 6th house. So that's going to affect your work life and your health and your hygiene. All of those things are going to really improve, really. Now, on the 9th, Venus trines Mars, and Venus is right there at that last, degree or whatever of Libra before it starts to bounce back into a Scorpio. And actually, I think it's in Scorpio now. Let me make sure. I can tell you exactly where it is at this moment. I just happen to be here. I wanted to see myself earlier. I think it's still retrograde, right? Yeah, it's still retrograde, and it's at 26 degrees Libra. So it's at 26 degrees. Okay. So Venus is at 26 degrees Libra, and it's still retrograde right now. And on the 9th, it is, Friday the 9th. It is a Friday. Venus is going to be trine Mars, and that is actually good because, first of all, Venus it's home. It retrograded home. So Venus is in Venus, even though it's square Cancer because it's Libra. It's good because it's Libra, and Venus is there. And that falls down in your 4th house. That is your home. That is your family. That's your home life. That's your mother even. But I'm thinking, if there has been a problem in your family, if there has been a problem with you and your mate, like your husband or your significant other, when Venus is at home, wow. Make good that day, the 26th. That's Friday, November 9th. Have a dinner party. Have a date night. Do something. It's a good night. I would take advantage of it, and it just shows you'll be comfortable at home no matter what. Now, the following week on the 15th, Mars does enter Pisces, and it gets that's that 8th, or excuse me, that 9th house. And I had mentioned that Neptune is already up there in the 9th house, and now Mars is going to be in the 9th house. And it shows that you're going to be creative, you'll have compassion, but I see that being in the area of like something spiritual. I don't know why. It could be religion, it could be some form of spirituality, or even like nonprofit work, something like that. I see Neptune up there, Mars up there. You may be doing some kind of community service even. I could see that happening as well. What I would be cautious about is travel, like long distance travel. And I could see some people might start doing that because it's getting close to the holidays. They're getting close to, Thanksgiving, stuff like that. But Neptune is in Pisces, and it's in your 9th house, and it's still retrograde, I think, until later. Let's see, when does Neptune go forward? Neptune is still retrograde, right? No, it goes direct on the 24th. So you've got, wow, 2 weeks before it goes direct. I would be really cautious with long distance travel. Mars is going to be there, so accidents could possibly occur even. So be cautious of that. It does oppose the 3rd house of even local travel. So all travel with Mars, opposing it like that, and then being in the 9th house, I do worry about travel. And do be cautious about getting aggressive or, over passionate about things like politics. I just could see someone like arguing with someone like free love, and there's always like a Trumper and someone's like a liberal, and it's just like, psh, yeah, just no, don't do that this month. It's just not a good time with Mars in the 9th house like that, because someone is always going to be opposed to what you believe. That's what Mars up there is. It's going to activate it, but it'll make it kind of aggressive. So be cautious. On the 16th, Mercury is retrograde in Sag, and that's the 6th house. So, when Mercury retrogrades, and Venus is going direct in Scorpio the same day, by the way. So Venus is actually in Scorpio, and it's going, it's direct. That's it. It went forward. So yeah, it's in Scorpio again. So that's going to be in your 5th house. So Venus is there. That's good. And Mercury has retrograded in your 6th. I'm thinking you need to make sure you take care of your health, and be extra cautious at work too about mistakes. Like really check everything. Just because that first day when it goes retrograde, it always seems extra harsh. So just make sure you make no weird mistakes at work, like a brain fog. Check everything a couple of times, maybe, just to be on the safe side. I would. Then on the 19th, Mars is square Jupiter, and Mars is up in that 9th house, and Jupiter is down in the 5th house, right? No, Jupiter's gone into the 6th house. So you've got a square going from the 8th to the 6th. Excuse me, 9th to the 6th. That's work and your health. There's something to do with, again, I keep getting spirituality. I keep thinking angels. Angel guides? What in? I just want you to watch your health. There's a lot of emphasis. The funny thing about Jupiter is Jupiter sometimes can be too much of a good thing. And I'm thinking now that you got Venus in the 5th house, now you got Jupiter in the 6th house, you got Mercury going backwards in the 6th house, you've got the Sun in the 6th house. You might be living it up because Cancer loves to eat some food. Lord have mercy. Watch your sugar. Watch your flour. Watch sodas. Watch all the goodies, because this is the holiday season. Everywhere you look is a goodie. Especially if you got kids. That means you got goodies left over from Halloween, probably. Watch them goodies, John. I'm telling you, I see someone getting all kind of gout and stuff in their feet. Oh, no. No. Watch your feet, John. Watch your feet. And watch diabetes. Get checked up and watch the sugar. That's what, I don't know why. That's what I'm feeling. So that was the 19th. Now on the 20th, though, it says you can heal because the Sun is trine Chiron, and the Sun is in your 6th house, and Chiron is in your 9th house. So whatever was really messed up, I said this to someone else. I forget whose reading I just did. And every time I hear that, every time I come past this day, I'm thinking, Lord, someone hurt themselves or went to the hospital or something happened on the 19th, and the next day they got their surgery, they got healed, they're all better, everything's getting better. And I'm getting that vibe again. So please be cautious, be careful with traveling, with moving about, especially around the 19th and the 20th, because, one day it's telling me there's going to be some possible problems, and the next day it's saying it's all healed now. Now, it could take the form of different ways. It could be like that day, it's a Monday, you go to work Monday and everyone's jumping on your back because of something you did 2 weeks ago. Maybe that day when I told you to watch everything when Neptune was going direct. And you get to work Monday and they're like jumping all over you. And you're like, what the? That's why I'm telling you, to watch that Neptune also all month long. But yeah. But anyway, the next day it's healed. Whatever it is, whatever goes on, it's healed the next day. It's so weird. Every time I see those 2 days, I've been warning everyone to be cautious of them. On the 22nd, the sun is going to go into Sagittarius. So the sun, which, I guess up until this point, it's been in the 5th house where your kids have been, or love has been. But now it's actually going into that 6th house for sure. So all that emphasis really is in the 6th house now. No pussyfooting around, okay? If you haven't taken care of it or gotten prepared for it yet, because I'm giving this to you on the 8th, you got yourself 2, almost 3 weeks to get yourself better. But on the 22nd, there is going to be a full moon in Gemini, and the sun is going to be in Sagittarius. That's going to be an axis between your 6th house and your 12th house. It's going to highlight things like nervous breakdowns, stomach problems, maybe nervousness. I see a lot of nervousness and tears. I see tears because the full moon. And also, if your health isn't good, nerves can get in the way. And if you get into arguments, try to avoid arguments that day. Because if you get into an argument, it's going to make you nervous, and then your stomach's going to hurt and going to end up in the hospital. Don't even go there. If someone tries to pull you into an argument, walk away. Walk away. Nobody's winning any arguments today. No. And someone try to pull you into all kind of conversation and stuff. No. The full moon is going to be in your 12th house. So it's highlighting all those hidden subconscious things. Someone might say the very thing that will make you cry. You be aware of this, okay? It's not a pretty day. That's the 22nd, so be cautious that day. And then, as I mentioned before, Neptune's going direct on the 24th. I've been warning you about that since the 8th. That is actually good. It's 9th house, and so I actually am happy that it's going, forward. It's going direct, and that's great because you Cancers are trying Pisces, and so it's all good. It's all good, and hopefully no one will start looking at you like you're making mistakes anymore, because you'll be a little bit more on it and really paying attention to it now, especially with Mars in the 9th house. You're really going to pay attention to details from now on. Now on the 25th, the sun is conjunct Jupiter. And it's actually going to be conjunct Jupiter again on the 27th, when it's conjunct Jupiter and Mercury. So I want to preface that, because on the 25th is in Jupiter, on the 27th is in Jupiter, but on the 26th, on the 26th, Mercury is square Mars. Truly one of the worst days for communication there could ever be. So I want you to be aware that with Mercury retrograding, right? Ooh, and it's squaring Mars up in the 9th house. Ooh, someone's dogma. Someone's talking about something you believe in. Lord. Someone said God ain't real. Oh, geez. Oh, no. The fight is on. Don't do it. Okay? Don't do it. I want you to instead feel the beautiful, positive vibes of that sun conjunct Jupiter surrounding that horrible day. Sun is going to be conjunct Jupiter, and it's going to be conjunct Mercury. And no matter how much someone tries to upset your flow, you keep your flow together, because you know it's all good. Okay? Don't let anyone pull you out of your lane at all. Especially since it will affect your health. I'm telling you. It'll make your stomach upset. You'll get an ulcer or whatever. You'll get nervous because the moon has been in Gemini, and now all this is in Sag. It's all sitting in your 6th house. So yeah, those couple of days, that last week, stay happy that last week. Stay happy. Finally, on the 30th, Venus opposes Uranus. So the month wants to go out with a bang. It just does not want us to be happy. So on the 30th, Venus opposes Uranus, which means whatever progress you probably made with love is all going to tank again. This happens with retrogrades. It popped out now, and it's got to go forward. You got to face it eventually, and here we go. You have to face it. Venus went direct, and now it's opposite Uranus, and that's it. So it's a crazy day. Something crazy might happen, especially for you, because it's all in your 5th house of romance. All up in, like, I think, it's either the right teetering at the, yeah, it's all in that area. So I don't know what to say. I would say just don't even try to make no sense of it. Just go with the flow. That, I think I'm going to call that. That's what I'm going to say to you for the whole month. Go with the flow. Your Cancers, you're emotional. Just ride the wave, y'all. Just ride the wave. Yeah. Try not to get too drunk on the 22nd during that full moon in Gemini. But ride the wave. I think if you do that, I think you're going to survive this month, and you're going to be stronger by the time it's all over. You'll watch everybody else falling apart around you, and you'll be like, what's wrong with them? I love it. I love it. Well, this has been Capricorntigress from Astrology, A Look Inside. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to our channel here on YouTube. And please stop by astrologyalookinside.com and subscribe to us there. And you can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com/astrologyalookinside, and our groups where I give out free mini readings at facebook.com/groups/astrology-a-look-inside. And my potatoes that I made for dinner are now ready. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Much love and much light. Namaste.